It's party time! Woohoo! Yeah! Oh, yeah!
Viva Pinata!
Viva, viva, pinata, yada, yada!
There's a place where everything's sweeter. Step on the candiosity meter. Meet all the candy-filled creatures.
Party animal!
All pinatas love to dance. Feel the music start to prance. Boogie like they're dancing our pants.
Welcome to picturesque Pinata Island. In its many gardens, all manner of pinatas live, dance, and dream that one day they will be chosen to entertain at a party as only pinatas can. Well, most pinatas, that is.
How fun!
Shake it, shake it, shake it.
Like a party animal.
Break it, break it, break it.
Like a party animal.
Shake it, shake it, shake it.
Like a party animal.
Break it, break it, break it.
Like a party animal!
Love to rock and love to bounce. But it's what's inside that counts. Delicious candy in large amounts.
Party animal!
So grab a stick and take a swing. Do the pinata thing. Come to the place where party is king.
Viva Pinata!
Carl and Damon here from Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's They Made What into a TV series, the not so fun stuff. You know, it feels weird because as of the time of recording, we haven't done a much of this. We've been kind of focusing on the other shows that we've been doing, the more fun ones, your Halos and your Castlevania and stuff like that. And it's like, oh no, let's jump back to Viva Pin. All right, it's episode 5 of season 2. The 2 segments, Les the Jet Setter and Slayin at the Sand. Aired February 24th, 2008 on YTV and September 20th, 2008 on the CW4 Kids. Let's get into it. Segment 1, Les the Jet Setter. That might lead you to believe this is a Les episode. It's not.
It's not.
Because Les has made a jetpack, and I'm like, okay, cool. We're going to focus on Les. Because he's flying around the island at top speed. But spoilers, record scratch, I don't know what you want to say. It's not really a Les episode. It's about Fergie and him avoiding parties again. Good God.
It almost feels like they're out of ideas now, and I'm pretty sure the next 3 or 4 episodes is all about Fergie again and the same crap.
The worst thing is this is us sounding like a broken record, because this is not this is not new. This is now at the point where we are like, oh, just this again. Anyway, Fergie's been caught by Langston and handcuffed to be taken to a party. And I've got zero investment in this, right? You know, you might laugh and go, well, why would you even try to have investment in Viva Pinata? It's like, I want to be, but immediately I'm like, well, I know he's not going to get sent to a bloody party.
Exactly.
So what's the bloody point? He cries for help, gets the attention of the Pinata gang who arrive, but Langston shoos them away and starts to take Fergie away. Why is suddenly everybody trying to, oh, we got to save Fergie?
I know.
They normally...
That's their job. That's
they
their
normally
being.
think he should go. Les comes shooting by though, and everyone is fascinated by what it is, giving chase. This allows Fergie to get free, but he decides to have a snack before hiding. Meanwhile, Les flies into a tree and loses his jetpack. He lands on the gang, but his jetpack lands on Fergie. Initially scared of it, he realises he can fly with it and uses it to escape from going to parties. So that's the general idea here. However, the sound of the gang arriving panics him, so to hide the jetpack, he eats it. As you do.
Yep.
Paulie tries to stop Langston from taking Fergie to a party, but to the shock of everyone, Fergie agrees to go. Now I do like this is where it gets a little funnier, because it's like, okay, the reaction and stuff like that. And you know, although we've probably not said this in a while, I think might as well say it here. The animation is still strong in this. The facial reactions, the body movements and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've got no issue with the animation or the voice actors at all.
No, God, no, absolutely. No, actually, in fact, one of the highlights, I would say, of Viva Pinata is the voice acting. I will remember imagine some other show where the voice actor of Fergie does a similar voice to Fergie. We would hear that. I would immediately go, is that Fergie?
Yeah,
that's going to stick, right? Because I'm not going to, even though I will never remember these episodes long term, I will remember the show. Fergie's in the Canonata and Paulie is still stunned, but Langston sends them off. However, of course, as Fergie shoots for the sky, he isn't going to a party, and he's able to use the jetpack inside him to change his direction and escape. Don't overthink it. Don't think about how he can control the jetpack from inside him. Just enjoy it.
Yeah.
He's out of control, though, and ends up hitting a mountain and landing in a cave. There he figures he can wait it out and come back with the rest, thinking he's gone to a party. And naturally I'm like, well, surely this isn't going to work. To be fair, they will try to cover the tracks here quite nicely. Because sometimes later Fergie is back, but Les is racing around trying to find his jetpack. And Paulie is suspicious because Fergie seems fine. You're not beat up, you're not too traumatised or anything like that. And Langston's like, well, hey, that went so well, we're going to send you to more. But obviously Fergie continues to use his jetpack to escape, but now has to kind of damage himself to make it more convincing, which is something he's obviously scared to do. She ends up doing it and like ripping some small tassels off of him. Very unconvincing, and Paulie doesn't believe he even went to a party, because obviously Paulie, being a party, not want to go to parties half the time as well.
Good message. Good message for children. If you want to get out of something, hurt yourself. That's what I thought.
I think you might be reaching a little bit there,
yeah.
Just a little bit. Yeah, they've been. I don't really think there's a lesson here.
No. Yeah.
You know, compared to some of the others.
That's me just picking. I'm picking as I.
Might as well sometimes, because it's sometimes you kind of need it to make these episodes work a little bit more. These segments, you know. No matter how Fergie's unblemished state means Langston wants them to send him to another party, because that's the thing. Will you keep coming back? Okay, might as well send you to another party. We then get a montage of Fergie being sent to party after party and hiding out in the cave. Unfortunately, it's game over as Les has found his remote and activates it, dragging Fergie across the island. He causes some damage, including ripping off Hudson's head. This season has had more of this than we've ever had in the first, where they almost seem to want to remind you regularly that they're pinatas.
Yes.
So you get a lot more like destruction and heads being ripped off and stuff like that.
Traumatized children.
Because I think sometimes it's a little weird as well, because he eventually admits everything to the others and they just laugh, but they finally believe him when the power of the jetpack rips its way out of Fergie's body, and I was like, fucking hell!
I think that annoyed me. I'll tell you what annoyed me, okay? It's the fact that his biggest fear is getting smashed at a party, but I've seen so many episodes, the one where he becomes a robot, he gets his face ripped off.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, so you've been smashed many, many times, so what's the issue?
I put it down to, it's not so much the issue of being broken apart, because they don't feel pain or anything, but that whole... Because remember, we had an episode a while back, I don't even know, I think it was in season 1, where he, for whatever reason, pictured kids like as demons with sticks. I think it's that fear more than anything else. Yeah. Because obviously, if you don't feel pain, what difference does it make? It's more that entire environment. It's weird because sometimes it's like, I don't want to be smashed to bits with sticks. It's like, but you don't feel pain, so what difference does it make? Maybe they do. Maybe we're just wrong. And this is actually really horror based more than anything else. Mad. After these events have been revealed, Langston sends the other pinatas off the parties and tells Fergie that he's going to once he's fixed up. So technically he got out of it again. And the segment ends with Les reunited with his jetpack. So even though it was called Les the Jet Setter, it was all Fergie more than anything else. It's an energetic segment. That's about as much as I can say. It's when it kind of gets to the sort of him being dragged across the island with the jetpack and stuff like that. At least it's quite a visual treat.
I mean, I'd say minus the party talk, it was an average episode, yeah.
That's the basic stuff. I mean, I almost don't, like, I'd never want to end these segments by going, hey, what did you think? Because what's the point? We've got 10 minutes here. It's not like we could do a score. Like, ideally, at the end of this, I would love to be like, all right, let's do a tier list ranking of every segment, right, across 2 seasons.
It's impossible.
I don't know if we can. Because I don't know how well I'm going to remember enough of this.
I mean, you could probably do a character thing.
Best I could see, all I kept envisioning was the middle section of a tier list that we often have would just be packed with, do you remember it? Nope. We'll see what we can do with that. But for now, segment 2, slaying them at the sands. We keep reading as in the sands. The sands. And Fergie and Paulie have travelled a long way to see Paulie's cousins, a group of pioneers. One answers, who seems to be quite dry and sensible. So you got that kind of thing. Paulie wonders where the others are, and we flash back to an earlier time when they were being silly in their garden and Pester saw them. He has a super joke and wants to use it to make the pianos laugh until they break apart and he can get their candy. It's an idea. Yeah? The joke falls flat though, and as he storms off, he slips over on the joke file and the pianos burst into laughter. Realising that they like pratfalls, that kind of humour, he throws himself around and they laugh so hard they began to spit up candy. So seeing his opportunity, Pester now captures them. Okay.
Yeah, I get this episode. Kind of remind me like they stole it from bloody like Who Framed Roger Rabbit, you know, making them laugh to kill themselves.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of things like that. I'm sure I've seen things where it's like, make this person cry and then collect their tears. Like, it's stuff like that, right?
Futurama, man. The water guy goes in his belly.
That's right, exactly that. Because season 1, Futurama, big up Futurama. Realising that it happened quite recently, Fergie and Paulie give chase, but they're too late. At Pester's lair, he continues to deliver low-brow comedy that makes the pianos laugh so hard they begin to split. His routine continues as Fergie and Paulie approach. They come up with a plan to sneak in, hiding behind a cactus, and witness the comedy event going on inside. Fergie charges, but ends up stuck in a fish, falling over golf balls, but that just makes the pianos laugh even more, so you can kind of see where this is going.
Yeah.
For some reason, though, and this is where I'm like, oh my god, Pester sees this as a challenge, and Paulie can't get his cousins to stop laughing. So Pester's like, I'm not going to be usurped here. I'm not going to be made a fool of.
He's an idiot.
Who can stop this hilarity? The dry and sensible cousin who now arrives. Pester isn't done yet, though, unveiling a massive comedy machine that he calls the punchline. Banging. That is how you win me over. I'm like, when I said that, I was like, that's good.
It's silly humour, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I'm sure this will work. And I was enjoying this segment so much more because it was original.
No mention of the parties too, though.
There you go. His attempts to be funny, getting pummeled and knocked about, get everyone but the pianos laughing. Pester basically has gone too far, and now he's taking a real kicking, being knocked out of his lair with a scream. Classic Pester. Everyone celebrates, and we cut to Fergie getting beaten up by a machine without any sense of humour, much to the confusion of the pianos, who just don't find that funny, basically.
Yeah.
And that segment too, a much shorter, although it's not in length, it's exactly the same, but it felt a lot shorter, and I think that's a positive when it kind of just flies by. My notes are a lot easier to write.
It was like on only like 2 locations, so it was all based in one area, so it wasn't like being sent everywhere, so yeah.
And again, it's very energetic.
Yeah.
Because you've got this silly machine and you've got this over-the-top comedy and it's pratfall stuff. I enjoyed it. I think it's actually one of the better segments.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's episode 6. Les the Jet Setter and Slayin at the Sands. You got any thoughts? You know what to do? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at gbhbl. Just search for gbhbl and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.